Have you ever rolled up to the gas station on a Monday morning, seen the price, and thought, wait, did they forget to add a couple dollars? Meanwhile, that same pump on Friday feels like it is charging you rent. What's the deal? Today, we are cracking the mystery of why gas is usually cheapest right after the weekend. Friday afternoon hits, and suddenly every gas station in town feels like the starting line for a family road trip. Errands, soccer games, grocery runs, everyone's topping off their tank before the weekend gets rolling. By Saturday morning, pumps are packed again, with drivers hoping to beat the rush, but finding themselves in the middle of it instead. GasBuddy's data shows that the heaviest traffic at the pump happens late Friday and Saturday morning, when drivers across the country are gearing up for everything from backyard barbecues to out-of-town adventures. It's not just your imagination. Weekend demand really does spike. In fact, GasBuddy tracks millions of price points from over 150,000 stations. And every week, the numbers tell the same story. More cars at the pump mean stations can nudge prices higher. Think of it like surge pricing for your fuel tank. When everyone's in line, stations do not have to compete as hard for your business. According to GasBuddy's 2026 analysis, the difference between the cheapest and priciest day can range from 4 to 15 cents per gallon, with the peak usually falling on Friday or Saturday in most states. It's the classic supply and demand dance. When demand is high, stations have the upper hand. They know you are not going to skip that weekend trip just because gas is a few cents more expensive, so prices climb. Sometimes quietly, sometimes with a jump big enough to make you do a double take at the sign. For families filling up minivans or gig workers trying to maximize every dollar, those extra cents add up over the course of a year. But here is where the weekly rhythm kicks in. After the weekend rush, stations face a quieter pump, fewer drivers, emptier lanes, and suddenly they are back to competing for every customer. That is when the prices start to dip. It is a bit like doing your laundry on Monday. Nobody's fighting you for the machines, and you get the best deal. So, next time you are stuck in a line of SUVs on Friday night, remember, the weekend surge is real, and it's helping set those higher prices. If you want to beat the game, wait for the Monday reset. And hey, what is the cheapest gas price you've ever scored on a Monday? Drop it in the comments, and let's see who has the best Monday fill-up story. Friday afternoon isn't just the kickoff for weekend plans. It is also when the entire gasoline market hits pause. At exactly 4 p.m. Central Time, the NYMEX&I CE futures exchanges close, locking in the last traded price for gasoline and diesel. From that moment until Sunday evening, no new trades, no fresh price signals, just a market in a deep freeze. For gas stations, this means the wholesale cost they will pay for fuel is stuck right where it landed at the end of the week. But the story does not stop with the exchanges. On Saturday morning, the industry's go-to source, OPIS, publishes what is called the Saturday rack price. This number is pulled from actual terminal sales and becomes the gold standard for what stations and distributors pay over the weekend. According to surveys from state regulators, about 85% of U.S. fuel terminals use this Saturday rack as their official weekend benchmark. It is like a snapshot of the market, frozen in time until the next business day. With futures markets closed and the Saturday rack set, stations cannot adjust their wholesale costs until Monday morning. Even if something big happens in the world, for example, a refinery hiccup or a sudden jump in oil prices, those changes will not hit the pump until the next round of pricing updates. The result is that for 2 days, the cost side of the equation barely budges, and most stations hold their prices steady or inch them up to ride out the weekend demand. Come Monday, everything resets. Early in the morning, stations pull in the latest rack price, factoring in any changes that happened while the markets were closed. This is when competition heats up again. With the weekend crowd gone and commuters back on the road, stations start lowering prices to lure in those early week customers. GasBuddy's data backs this up. Monday's average price is usually 4 to 9 cents per gallon lower than the weekly high, and in some states, the gap can stretch to 15 cents. It is a nationwide pattern, repeated week after week, all thanks to this market pause and the frozen rack price. Think of it like a laundromat that locks its coin machine on Saturday and Sunday. You can still wash your clothes, but you are stuck with whatever change you had on Friday. Only when Monday morning rolls around do you get a fresh start and the best deal. So if you want to outsmart the pump, set your alarm for Monday morning, check the GasBuddy app, and fill up before the midweek climb begins. And while you are at it, what is the lowest gas price you have ever found on a Monday? Let us see who has the best Monday score in the comments. Long before the sun comes up on Monday, gas station managers are already making their first big move of the week. At thousands of locations, the price board flips over right around 4 in the morning. Not because someone is up early with a ladder and a flashlight, but because most stations run on automated digital signs these days. The overnight system pulls in the latest wholesale numbers, usually locked in from the Friday market close, and programs the new, lower price to greet the first wave of commuters. Tom Kelly, who runs a busy station in Des Moines, puts it this way: "We drop the price first thing Monday morning after our supplier's invoice hits the system. It is almost a tradition. Monday is the day we want to see foot traffic. Some places still do it the old-fashioned way, swapping out numbers by hand, but more often it is a scheduled update. Either way, the goal is the same. Start the week by winning over drivers who held out after the weekend rush. That early morning reset is not just about technology, it is a strategy. With fewer cars at the pump and everyone watching their wallets, stations compete harder for every customer, and that is when the deals show up. Monday's price drop is not random. It is the opening move in a weekly pricing chess match. Every Monday, a quiet choreography plays out behind the scenes of America's gas stations. Trucks that rolled out on Friday have already topped off underground tanks, leaving most stations freshly stocked as the week begins. With the weekend's rush over and tanks full, station owners face an early week lull. Fewer cars, less foot traffic, and a lot more incentive to tempt drivers with a deal. That is where the Monday discount comes in. Dan North, a transportation economist, sums it up. Monday's dip is a classic price reset that benefits consumers who can shift their fill-ups a day earlier. The logic is simple. When demand drops, prices get flexible. Economists call this elasticity. When fewer people are buying, stations have to work harder to bring you in. After the weekend's high-volume frenzy, the early week window is the one time stations actually compete for your business, not just your wallet. The delivery rhythm helps lock in this pattern. Most stations place their big orders on Friday, locking in the wholesale price until the next round of trading. By Monday, with plenty of fuel on hand and fewer buyers, the only way to keep the pumps busy is to lower the price. And just like that, Monday becomes the best day to fill up, almost as satisfying as getting the laundry done before anyone else is awake. Patrick DeHaan, GasBuddy's lead petroleum analyst, puts it simply: Monday consistently undercuts the rest of the week by about 8 cents on average. It is the reset button for gas prices. The numbers back him up. In 2026, GasBuddy tracked daily prices at over 150,000 stations and found that Monday was the cheapest day to fill up in 30 states, with a gap ranging from 4 to 15 cents per gallon compared to the Friday and Saturday peak. That might sound small, but a few cents here and there add up. If you fill your tank a dozen times a month and save just 6 cents per gallon, that is roughly $86 back in your pocket over a year. Enough for a couple of oil changes or a family pizza night. Here's a tip to make those savings automatic. Set a price alert in the GasBuddy app for your favorite station. The app will ping you when prices dip, so you can snag the Monday deal without even thinking about it. And if you are the type who likes to get your chores done early, think of Monday fill-ups, like doing your laundry on Monday. Less competition, better results, and a little more cash left over. So, what is the lowest price you have ever seen on a Monday? Drop your best Monday score in the comments below. Think of filling up on Monday like doing your laundry early. Less crowd, better deal. With GasBuddy data showing Monday saves you 4 to 15 cents a gallon in many states, timing really is everything. So, what's the cheapest Monday price you've ever scored? Drop your answer in the comments.